in hopes that he's eventually just going to come to a stop and they can take him into custody at that point. Unclear how many people may be in the vehicle, but we are going about
okay, people.
80 miles an hour or so here northbound on the 405 in Long Beach.
Eliana Moreno, in the air, News Chopper 4. Big one, 11 o'clock primetime hour, 11:13 p.m. We are live on... Hold on, I gotta get this tweet out, people. Forgot the tweet. Finally get an Eliana chase. XL Black Dodge Charger. Let me get the highway here in a second.
And that is when we believe it was actually Duke, which is the Orange County Sheriff's helicopter that may have been overhead initially until the CHP was able
That
to
is indeed the sweet sounds of Eliana Moreno, News Chopper 4. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome back. Second chase of the day.
But again, they are in the area, so this very well could just be a surveillance boat situation, or they're going to follow along with the helicopter only in hopes that he'll just slow his roll and he'll think that this is no longer a pursuit and may even drive home and they can take him to custody at that point.
Eliana, let's qualify when we talk about that they're in a surveillance mode here. The fear that people could be put in harm's way.
What's up, people? Okay, now I can see.
He's already driving recklessly.
Stop complaining. We're 405 northbound, coming out of Long Beach, near the 24-hour fitness.
Exactly, just trying to maintain the situation as is, because for the most part he is staying in one lane. We've noticed he's right now in the carpool lane and just kind of maintaining
another one.
speed.
Yeah, we're in the HOV lane on the 405 northbound coming up. It's going to swing around the west side. Come up towards Orange County. Wait, no, we're past Orange County, sorry. Going, next stop is like Redondo Beach. Cerritos Auto Square. Cerritos Auto Square.
But if he starts to drive recklessly again, let's say he starts
Good morning, yes. I don't know where you're watching from. Oh, excuse me, I almost forgot. Boogity, boogity, boogity! Let's go chase it, everybody. Reset for you one more time. 11:15 p.m. Pacific time here. Prime time hour. Kaioken in the chat. Shout out to you. Everybody, welcome one of our most generous community member gifters. 5 tier 1 subs going out. Night Sun blasting the 405. Random people wondering what the fuck is going on. Units in pursuit. Still a 2-star chase at the moment. Doubleheader on the evening. Where would you rather be than a police chase on a Friday night here in the beautiful city of the Los Angeles metropolitan area? That is a Dodge Charger, in fact, yes. Thank you, people. This time I was lying last time, but that's actually a Dodge Charger. Shout out to everyone who's watching in their bathrooms.
At this point, the freeway is pretty wide open in both directions. And,
or their kitchens.
I'm hearing them talk about a possible spike strip. And the reason they can start to think that route is because there is a pattern of his driving. He is staying in one lane on the 405 freeway.
I was not lying.
So he very well could get up ahead to pull some spikes.
No, 2 stars.
Hopefully he'd run them over, and then his tires would slowly
2 stars until we pick it back up here. We got a pretty basic in pursuit chase here at the moment. Don't know what the want is. They're talking about a spike strip on the 405.
It is incredibly dangerous to the
just passing Cerritos Auto Square, Carson, California. Next up, Redondo Beach. The only way you're getting spikes down is if there is an officer in the shoulder of the southbound side that can throw it over the top of the median.
What I am hearing is that they're going to try to run a traffic break to give those officers a little bit of room to be able to deploy that.
We're going to see a spike strip on the 405, according to Eliana Moreno. They're going to go for it. That would be a first.
The vehicle is listening to our broadcast, or a friend is listening to the broadcast. That way he doesn't get a heads up about it. But after he passes that point, I can point it out. But for now, continuing northbound on the 405 freeway, coming up to the city of Carson.
Pretty much
Rex, put it on your iPad.
Speeds. He's pretty much staying in that carpool lane.
Put it on. Does Rex have an iPad?
Moving over. And they are.
Tell him to put it on an iPad.
Certainly he knows that they're still
I'm saying put the chase on an iPad so you guys can watch it.
Pursuit mode, Robert, with those black and whites behind him with their lights on as
I'm talking
well.
to
So
somebody
this
else,
guy
people.
didn't know he was in a pursuit. He
People are
sure
jealous
doesn't
that I'm
know,
not talking to them.
with the units right on his tail. Of course, you still have the helicopter overhead. And in a situation like this, it actually does help other
Back in
drivers who
pursuit.
are on
Northbound,
the road
405,
to know
Carson.
that this is a vehicle
That is not
involved
tracking
in a
mode.
pursuit. When they weren't behind him, this guy flies right past you at what is now 100 miles an hour, and you just think it's a crazy driver.
I sent you the
realize
link.
that this is a guy who's in the middle of a pursuit. But now that these
Did you not
ground
get
units
it?
are behind him with their lights and sirens on, it lets everybody else on the road know that it's time to move over and get
More
out of
subs
the
in
way.
the chat for Kaioken. You guys owe that man a big W, a big hello, and a good thank you. What's up? Welcome back. Welcome in. That is the one. Suspected DUI. Suspected DUI, not stolen.
According to Ileana Moreno, and has now been on the 405 since Seal Beach as it heads.
If this goes long enough, it won't be suspected DUI anymore. He's going to sober up.
And now this driver seems to be very much aware that the CHP is behind, following behind, and looks like sort of moving back and forth, Ileana, trying to decide what the next move is.
We talked about this last time, people. In these suspected DUI chases, if you're drunk, you might as well just keep chasing, not do anything crazy, so that when you get pulled over, you blow sober.
Yeah, I did hear them still talking about it. It is a possibility, but it might not be now that he's transitioning to the 110 freeway. So he seemed to be fully committed to that 405, but looks like he...
If you click that link I sent you, you can see the chat.
I think this is going to put him on the southbound.
You can see all the
side,
people in the
but we'll know
chat.
as soon as he completes the transition. So,
I can't
we're
hear you,
still
but I'm
in
just giving you
Carson.
directions.
Additional units of the
This is the
CHP
best way for this
behind him,
relationship to work, is I
right
just
at
tell you
the,
things and I can't hear what you
interchange
say back to
between
me.
the 405 and the 10 the 110 freeway. And again, he's still
Okay, interchange, people. That looks like a 105 to me.
but I have a feeling this is going to drop him onto the southbound 110 freeway here in Carson.
What?
You know, when you look at this, not only are you concerned
How are they all the way at the
about
110?
trying to evade the police, but this is
Oh,
someone
because it's coming from
who
Long
is
Beach.
impaired, and you have to be very concerned about.
Come back to
those
us,
people
Ileana.
on
Come
the
back to
road,
us.
Even though the 405
There we go.
pretty much open, Ileana, but as you know, anything can happen, and it is a Friday night in Los Angeles.
They're jealous
As
that they
he
don't know
moves
who
right
you are.
now, the 110 South, as you said.
Yeah, 110 South here in Carson, just south of the 405.
Police chase interrupting my
110,
Friday night, people.
Will eventually come to an end.
They're all saying
here
hello
in
to
the
you in the
San
chat.
Pedro
Load the
area
chat.
becomes Gaffey Street. So he's going to have to make a choice when he
Are you
gets
on
to that
Twitch right now?
point. But for now, it looks like he's...
What have you been doing this whole
all the
time?
way to
I sent you the link.
So this is going to keep him here on the 110 South. I'm hearing the description
Unbelievable.
from the CHP of the driver.
I
It is
am
a man,
Greg
so they're
or
saying
D.
that it is a man, and they're
What's
not
up?
seeing anyone
Talk
else.
to me.
So at this point, we believe it is
W's
still
in the
on
chat.
here, that is
Subs
continuing
going out
to,
once again.
Try to evade the California Highway Patrol after evading Newport Beach police, apparently for.
Oh, that you must be watching now. Why are you
Now
giggling?
we know it's a man. Ileana moves back into Long Beach. I would imagine also that there are some serious roadblocks.
I'm gonna have to
that could
turn you
possibly
up, so
in
be
the
careful
way.
what you
Are
say.
there, in fact, going to be due to the Long
What'd you say?
Beach Grand Prix that there would be some type of closures that could end this?
They're calling me Worldwide Riz.
Yeah, he heads towards Long Beach. I was actually at the Grand Prix earlier today, and I can tell you that there are a lot
Say it again?
of street closures in the area. A lot of
I can't hear
places
you.
that
You
are
must be
closed
playing
off.
it through the
And even though
speakers.
the activities for the day are over, you
It's
still
okay.
have a
Keep
lot of
watching the
pedestrian
chase.
traffic in that area. A lot of people that are just enjoying their night out here on a Friday night. So frequent, they're going to some of the.
That's much
restaurants
better,
and bars
people.
there in
Wab
the area. So it is an
Perez
extremely
instead of
busy area.
Perez. I like that
And
one
that,
more.
of course, is in
Kaioken, more
Long
shots
Beach,
going
which is a
more
little bit to
more
our
subs going
east.
at.
For now, he's still in Carson, but he seems to be slowing down a bit. So this is really interesting. I'm wondering if perhaps he's either lost and is trying to figure out.
110
where
southbound
to
is
go from
crazy,
here, or
people.
maybe he's running out of gas. But we are seeing a big change.
He's slowing down.
in the speed.
Yeah, down to
here.
40.
Only about he had dropped down to about 45. He's picking it up again just a little bit. But again, at one point we saw 100 miles an hour. So this is a big difference.
Back up to 80, 85. We're still in lane number 1. Talk to me about the guys, am I crazy that if you pass 405 swings westbound as it approaches Carson, how the fuck do you get the 110? Does the 110 go all the way down? You're from LA. Does the 110 go all the way down to Long Beach?
Continuing Ileana on the 110 south. And you talk about possibly running out of gas.
You know where the 110 goes down to?
What time did this pursuit start?
So it's not clear exactly what time it started.
Goes all the way down to, I think it goes all the way down to Long Beach.
It would take
San Pedro, yes, thank you, people. You're a lot more helpful than the other device over here.
On surface streets in the Newport Beach area. They, of course, are encrypted, which basically means we can't hear their
San
transmissions
Pedro.
on the scanner. So we could have been going on for quite some time.
Wobb's trying to rizz up the online blackjack dealer. That's a good one. People think you're a virtual blackjack dealer. You're not on camera, but they think I'm talking to a E-date.
And then we followed it to the 110, where he jumped onto that 110 south, and he's getting that much closer to that area of the
Little mini night sun out of the passenger side of that
major street here through the San Pedro area.
San
Lots of
Pedro.
homes,
There
lots
you
of
go.
businesses, lots of people out and about on a
That is
Friday
not
night,
Siri,
which, of course,
people.
is very concerning. But there's also the chance he may just simply jump off the 110 and hop right back on and go north. He's getting very close to where he's going to have to make that choice.
And Ileana, our Simon Desk just informs us that the chase actually began at 11:04. So
She's complimenting the chat, people. She says you're very funny.
He has some
So
gas
keep it up.
ready to go, that this could go on for a while. What we have seen right now is just the 405 and the 110. Any other freeways involved?
That's the one that we've seen.
Oh my God, so annoying. Squeaky toy. I'm unmuting you.
And considering that this started in Newport Beach, Robert, most of our pursuits tend to return to an area that the driver is familiar with. A lot of the time, it's in the area where the pursuit began. So if he has any intention of getting...
Isn't that nice? Let's talk about all the great things Wob has done for us. Yes, let's do that. Whoa, did you guys see that CHP officer just go flying ahead? That could be the spike strip officer. That could be the spike strip officer. That's what happened last time. They send him up about 2 miles ahead of the chase, and he's going to park it on the side of the road. They're going to shut down the on-ramps so that he doesn't have to worry about running across a freeway with cars on it, and then he's going to be chilling with a spike strip, and he's going to potentially throw it out there. They called for the 405 spike strip, but now that we're on the 110 southbound, it might have to be here.
Simply his description, and the only reason we got that was that one of the CHP units got very close, close enough so that he could see him and was able to share.
Oh yes, thank you. Still can't believe you donated so much money to charity. You're amazing. Thank you. I did do that, didn't I? They're all dropping compliments in the chat. You make me look good.
Just noticed was that one of the CHP cruisers actually ran up ahead, and that may actually be the unit that's going to deploy.
Let's talk about how I did try and bluff Bertucci with 2-7 offsuit. I just picked the wrong hand to do it because he was bluffing me the next hand.
But then he made that transition onto that 110 south. So any thought of putting that spike on the 405 freeway died once he got on the 110. So they can definitely try it now that he's on the 110 south.
You're awake now, aren't you? Police chases get the juices flowing, don't they?
So I have seen it done. It's usually they try to pick an area that they usually.
Well, here's the problem, people. Not necessarily a problem because we're not that far, but if we stay 110 southbound, Viva la Mexico. Mexico's in play as we are about 2.5 hours from the border, but it looks like we might be getting off here. San Pedro, night sun blasting from the helicopter above. Headed towards side streets. Let's see what happens here. Might be looking for another 405 interchange.
Run over, and of course we hope not to see something like that. But he is now on Gaffey. 110 freeway came to an end, and he's now headed southbound Gaffey.
Okay, and where could...
Holy shit, look at these speeds. 85 miles an hour. That is, oh my God, 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 oh my, that's a red light.
From this point going forward, his freeway...
That is so fast. Look how fast that is compared to the cars that are parked on the side of the road. That's a jack in the box. Don't hit the jack in the box. Through a solid red intersection, all 4 ways it's red. At least we're slowing back down here. Right-hand turn coming up. This looks like a...
strictly surface streets going forward. A lot
Back to a 3-star chase, elevated to a 3-star chase on 8th Street, doing 55 miles an hour over several speed bumps through an intersection. Night sun from above still blasting.
Communities coming up. So perhaps this is an area that is familiar to him. Kind of bottomed out there just a little bit. I actually
Approaching 11:30 here on the West Coast. I imagine they're going to stick with the chase and not go to.
I'm seeing his brake lights, but when he's not on the brakes, I'm not seeing any lights at all. So he may be blacked out here. It's an older model pickup, blue in color, with again a possible DUI driver out of Newport Beach.
I know, it's always a Dodge Charger, right?
Is this the moment, Ileana, that the CHP and what other law enforcement is involved says, you know what, gotta back off now. We are in a residential neighborhood. Lives are at risk. There are people potentially on the sidewalk.
He wants to watch the chase.
Surveillance mode.
That could very
He
well
sees
be
the
it.
fur
They
missiles
come to an
coming to an end here, pulling over.
Here. I'm not seeing the driver door open.
There's a night sun. He knows he's being chased.
Ask Jim if he could just scoot just a touch so that we can look at that driver door just in case he opens it. Oh no, but he's going to take off yet again. So interesting.
Okay,
move
Duck
here.
Duck Goose
Just to pull
in
over
play
for
here
a
as we
second.
continue hitting the gas.
Checking his directions, to try to figure
That
out
brace
where
on
to
Wobb's
go
wrist,
from
that
here. Maybe
injury
he
from when he
does military
rescued me
focus
out of a
on
burning
that.
building. Did
But
you hear
to
that?
get
Did you
back
see
to
that
your
chat?
question, Robert, they could very well just
There was a chat that said my wrist brace was an injury from saving one of the chatters from a burning building.
Ileana, with all of what you're looking at right now, where do you see the CHP? How far behind him are they?
Yeah, there's no quitters in this one tonight. No overpasses to dump Ejectocito. Headed towards an intersection here. Nobody better than to have Eliana Moreno Friday night. Told you, chases breed chases.
This is a possible DUI driver, a pursuit that started in Newport Beach about 25 minutes ago now, has made its way all the way to San Pedro after jumping on two of our freeways, both the 405 and the 110 freeway, and continues now here through residential streets, but fortunately...
Question from Shay's Line says, Wob, is the LAX airspace in play? Not at the moment, no. If they took the 405 past LAX, it would be.
And perhaps now that is when they are going to be backing off here.
Yeah, that very well could have been the time when they're dropping out, and then also this guy had run the red. So the difference is that officers always have to clear that intersection. They can't risk hitting another vehicle in their attempts to continue to chase this guy. So they're always going to be just a little bit delayed.
Feels like we're looking for a place to bail, doesn't it?
Of course, they don't want to run
Looking for a place to bail. Coming to a stop again.
Actually coming to a full-on stop here. We're at Beacon N7. The CHP.
There's the CHP, but we are not stopping.
As soon as he got behind him,
That could be a pit maneuver. Big XL Dodge Charger has a big wagon, big old wagon that sets up for a pit.
and CHP officers with their guns drawn.
Didn't look like he ran out of
Guns are
gas.
drawn,
He just got
hand
tired.
one hand out the window.
Yeah, it seems like after this.
We have a pursuit building in the way. Let's see if Eliana maneuvers around it.
To an end here in San Pedro, just off of 7th and Beacon, right next to a park, and an area where we're really not seeing much in the way of vehicle
Oh,
traffic.
out of the car.
As my pilot Jim brings the helicopter around, we'll be able to get a better look here at the driver.
It appears we have another quitter. Hands are up.
At this point, he threw the keys out. That's the first thing he threw
Keys
out.
are on the
There's no
ground.
chance he can jump back in and take off. But here you go, walking back in the direction of
Doing the Macarena.
They're going to give him commands. They're going to hand
And code 4.
Whenever they feel comfortable, they will approach.
Drop your 4s in the chat, people. We are code 4. Another chase that comes to an end. Let's clear the vehicle here first before we sign off.
That made its way through Seal Beach, Long Beach, and now ending up here in Los Angeles. This is a suspected DUI driver being taken into custody. This is the second pursuit that we have seen in just the last few hours. If you joined us live,
Chases breed chases, people. Cautions breed cautions, chases breed chases. At least this person gave up, but that XL Dodge Charger will be
And as you look at this picture, we can
headed
tell
to
you
the
if you joined
impound-
us for that
impound
pursuit,
lot.
Ileana,
What's up?
You've got an age on that driver of the Kia Soul.
It's almost done. Hold on.
Yeah, we had that earlier pursuit that you were talking about, Robert, and incredibly, that young man If I can call him a young man, because he was only 15 years old.
15?
He was behind the wheel of a possible stolen car and led officers
15-year-old Zoomer.
lengthy chase through South Los Angeles.
Driving
This
around an
case
XL
here, there's
Dodge
also
Charger.
another, man, but in
That
this
would
case,
explain
it was
why
a
he just gave
DUI
up.
suspect.
Parents probably
And,
called him and said, "You better
unfortunately,
pull your
this,
ass
pursuit
over."
ended here without incident on streets in San Pedro.
You see that they're searching the car right now, Ileana here, and the agency involved is only CHP. As this
That's
was
correct.
a
15-year-old
pursuit.
doing 100 miles an hour in an XL Dodge Charger
Yeah,
on
this
side
is
streets.
Newport Beach now.
That's fucking
Correct, yeah,
nuts.
so this was originally out of Newport Beach, but it was handed over to the California Highway Patrol since it was on the freeways for most of the length of the chase, which was a good 30 minutes. So because it was on the freeways, the CHP are the police of our freeways here in California, so they were best equipped.
Yeah,
to
that's why they
continue
said
to follow this
suspected
guy all the
DUI,
way from
because
Newport
driving
Beach
like someone who's
to San
15 years
Pedro.
old.
Really not too much in the way of close calls, but a really fast-moving pursuit that made its way the termination of it here on a surface streets, which could have been very dangerous on a Friday night. But fortunately, he decided that it was time to pull over, and he is.
Chad is saying that 15-year-old was the
And
earlier
as we
chase.
do with NBC4 News,
Yeah.
we really do follow these pursuits.
Regardless,
even when they end,
15-year-old
to
driving
get
the same way.
information about those involved. And
You
as
read
we
chat,
stay
Boomer.
as a service to our viewers to try and.
Why don't you guys say it was the Kia Dodge Charger a couple more times? Maybe it'll land.
Pursuit that is potentially heading into their neighborhood, and to let them know exactly what they may be in for. But what we have right here now is a pursuit that has ended with a sudden surrender, if you will. Correct, Ileana? Just a sudden surrender by a suspected DUI driver, now taken into custody. And
Okay, well,
is going to have
still
to
suspected
drive
DUI.
back
We'll
to
figure
where it
out, see if there's a
all
resolution to
began,
this one.
somewhere in Newport Beach, after going on quite a joyride that lasted just about a half hour.
All right, people. Friday night.
About half an hour all the way from Newport Beach.
Can we
to
sign off,
San
Eliana?
Pedro.
Some of us
And
have
at the
things
end
to
of it
do.
all, it just appeared like he just had enough and simply pulled over. He immediately threw the keys out, which is always the first thing that you are instructed to do if you are in a pursuit. That way it's a guarantee that the car can't take off anymore. And he quickly surrendered to the California Highway Patrol. He's now in the back of a squad car. They cleared the vehicle and made sure there were no other occupants, and they did not find anybody else inside of the vehicle.
Sorry, I'm just addicted to
And
hearing
Ileana, we want
Eliana's
to
reports.
Thank you for taking us through this pursuit as you do, and do it so well. If you're heading on the 405 right now, looks pretty open. Let's go to the Tonight Show.
For the first
with Jimmy
time
Fallon.
ever.
Have a good weekend.
All right, people. On that note, you go enjoy your Friday nights. If you haven't already followed the account, go ahead and do that. Turn your notifications on in the event there is another chase. We also have alerts on Twitter at Skywob Alerts. In the event that there is a chase within 4 hours of the previous one, the best way and the only safety net is to go to at Skywob Alerts. Birdsintheair.com is our merchandise website. And thank you to everyone who continues to subscribe to the channel. It is a great Friday night when we have the sweet, sweet sounds of Eliana Moreno on the mic.